Okay, for this lecture, I want to talk about the importance of the resume. And before I begin, I guess to establish my ethos, I've got two angles. One is I've been the president of a corporation for 25 years. I recently retired from that spot. I've also run a restaurant for 3 years or so. I've done a lot of hiring and firing in the process and looking at resumes and cover letters. But another part that is perhaps more relevant and more significant is this is currently being done by my son in an HR position for a large multinational tech company. He has done HR for them for several years now, and we've had a really good discussion about cover letters and resumes and the whole process. I've mentioned that in a previous video, and I want to give it a bit more information here on that aspect. So I mentioned previously the process at that company where the first person comes in, the resume, cover letters and resumes come in, a receptionist stacks them up according to the particular job category, and then Michelle takes the cover letters and does a very rapid sort. She has a stack of 500, 600, and she nails it down to 50, no more than 50. And she's looking for any kind of mistake, anything that's any reason at all for throwing it in the garbage, because that's what makes her life easy. And then the remainder, say 50 that have passed that screening, go on to my son's desk. He hates this too. They all hate this. So he wants to get this done as quickly as possible. And as he said to me, he said, look, the very first thing I need to know is that they have the skills I want. And just the 5 skills. But roughly 5 skills. 5, maybe 6, maybe 4, but say 5 plus or minus 1. If a resume comes in and it has like 20 skills listed, it's generic. It's just fluff that is being thrown out to anybody. It could be sent to anybody. It's not for him. It's not for his specific needs. You need to, right away, done. They're in the garbage. The second problem that is very, very, very common, people are still doing reverse chronological resumes. They've been told in the school system that's what people want. Just give me your life history in reverse order. And Nick's response was, I don't want to read your life history. I want to know what skills you have. If you don't have the skills, I'm moving on to the next resume. I'll give you like between 2 and 5 seconds to tell me that you've got the skills that I want. If you do that, cool. I'll give you another 10 seconds of my life to see where you got that. Because, of course, anybody can claim to have any skill set at all. Did you know that I designed rockets that went to the moon? Well, where? You can claim anything. So you need to justify it. So right at the top, you have everything that's required. So if they say we want university education, that should be your very first line. Just get it out of the way. I've got my degree in X. The second thing is relevant skills. A list of 4, 5, 6, say 5 plus or minus, that are targeted to that specific job application. Then you immediately have relevant experience. This does not have to be work experience. It can be school work. It can be extracurricular work. It can be it just has to be experience that explains where you got those skills. And again, as an example, Nick in fact got his first degree in a computer software company because they wanted someone who was doing online tech help, and it's very fast paced. It required quick judgment calls. And they said, have you ever done this? And he said, yeah, in high school he was a ref. He was a volleyball ref. Bingo. That was experience. It was relevant, exactly relevant to the career. He got the job, right? It wasn't work experience. It wasn't paid for it. And if you have a thing work experience, you're just shooting yourself in the foot. It's probably in the garbage faster than you can type the words work experience. Don't do it. Just list the relevant skills and then list the relevant experience that backs up your claims. That's all on page 1. Nothing on page 2. There should be nothing on page 2 that's irrelevant. Page 2 stuff and other experience. You might have other experience that is relevant, that you've done something and you think, well, maybe they'll be interested in this. At the brewery, someone said, hey, they worked in a cheese factory. And, well, that's pretty cool because the standards of sanitation in a cheese factory are higher than the standards of sanitation in a brewery. So that other experience, cool. Page 1, volunteer activity, hobbies, all that kind of stuff. I don't care. Like, nobody cares about your hobbies at this stage. Page 2 material really is only relevant if you've got the interview, and it gives me some material. So I look at your hobbies and I say, oh, you're a chess player. Well, maybe I can talk about chess for a while. I want to get to I'll talk about interviews later, but it's a completely different game. Page 2 stuff is for the interview. Page 1, everything that is relevant to getting that interview has to be on page 1 because they won't look to page 2. If you've got your skill set on page 2, it's in the garbage. You don't get an interview. Done. So think about it. And you can think about bits, or you can apply the theory here. It's, what do they want? They've got a problem. They need that problem solved. Who can solve it? The person with the right skill set can solve it. And if you don't give them what they want, if you don't tell them that skill set right at the top, it's gone. Poof, it's in the garbage. Thanks for playing.